Parmanu, the story of Pokhran. Now, is this the story which tells us what really happened when India became a nuclear state back in 1998? Is this a real portrayal? Is this movie worth checking out? Is it any good? Let's find out in this full review of Parmanu. By the way, before we get started, my name is Puneet and you're watching the Afterthoughts Network. Let's get on with it. Now, Parmanu stars John Abrahan and Diana Penty in leading roles and is directed by Abhishek Sharma of the Tere Bin Laden and the Shaukeens fame. Tere Bin Laden was a pretty good movie, but the sequel just sucked, and the Shaukeens was a piece of crap. I just didn't like that movie at all. But now, in this movie, Abhishek Sharma returns and he shows us why he is a capable director. Because this is an intelligent film. It may not be exactly how things went down, but it shows you how things happen in situations like these. That's why I say this is an intelligent movie. You need to have your brain open to when you watch this movie. Yes, there are things explained to the audience, but they are done in a more intelligent way. They do not treat you like dumb audiences who need spoon feeding for each and everything that is going on in this movie. No, certainly not. But this movie requires you to pay attention to things and see how things work, how diplomacy works, how secrecy, how spying works. All of this has been shown brilliantly, but somehow I feel that some of the direction lacks certain qualities, which I will cover in the negatives aspect of this movie. Now, coming to the stars, John Abrahan and Diana Penty do a decent job. I'm going to say Diana Penty does a very decent job and John Abrahan does a brilliant portrayal. Now, one thing about this movie is about breaking the stereotypes. Let me explain. First of all, the director. The director's movie is most particularly known for his comedies, but this is a thriller. The next thing, John Abrahan is not an action hero in this movie. He plays an IAS officer. There is not one action sequence with John Abrahan when he's beating up 20 guys. You won't find that in this movie. If you're looking for that sort of action flick, you should probably go check out Force or something, because you won't find it anywhere here. Then there's Diana Penty, who is a stunningly beautiful actress, and she is a decent actress, but in this movie she is not just a pretty face. She is here to act. She shows some acting chops and she does a pretty decent job. Now, the story of this movie is plain and simple. It's the time of 1998 when India was going to be testing its nuclear powers to be declared as a nuclear state, but there was increased pressure from United States and China and Pakistan, as no one wanted India to become a nuclear state. So India decided to conduct some secret nuclear tests and hide it from everyone till they were ready to disclose it. Now, this movie is all about how it went down, how they hid from the spy satellites of United States, of China, etc. and finally what was achieved back then and how important that was. Now, this movie does use some real world footage to show the importance of the events that are being taking place. But this is not a documentary. Things did not go exactly as it is shown, but you can pretty well say that things might have gone down this way. There's also attention to detail. For the first time in a movie, you actually get to see how these nuclear tests are conducted, how a nuclear bomb is tested for a country, for what the type of site is used, how is it prepared, that sort of thing. It's brilliant to watch it being displayed on the screen for the audience to learn to understand. So all these things work in the movie. What did not work in this movie, I'll list it down right here. One thing, the movie is supposed to be taking place in 1998. For the most part, it feels that way, but the picturization of this movie sort of gives it away that it's not a 1998 movie. If you have seen movies like Special 26, etc., or even Baby, the things that are being shown do look like they were shot in that period. Apart from the sets and the costumes, the things actually look like they were taking place during that time. In this movie, yes, the sets etc. are from that era, but the picturization of this movie is not, and you can clearly see that, and sometimes it really took me out of that movie. But the story was compelling enough to keep me hooked in till the end. Now, another negative of this movie is that there is humor thrown into this movie, because we do need some comic relief, we need some humor in our lives, but for the most part the humor just falls flat. I mean, it just does not work. They're trying to make jokes and do some humorous things in the background, but it just does not click, which is an irony because the director is known for his comedy work. Also, the dialogues in this movie sometimes get a bit too preachy for the nationalism they are trying to show. I mean, it works well enough, but it sometimes gets a bit into the lecture and preaching sort of department that I think takes you out of the movie, out of the realism of this movie. So you can say that everything has been overly dramatized. It's not really grounded as we see in a lot of other movies, but it has been overly hyped, and you can clearly see that this is a movie, not a real depiction, which needs to be effective in a movie of this sort. For example, if you have seen Razi, that was a pretty grounded and realistic movie. You could completely believe that things go down like this. But in this movie, you can completely see that things do not really go down like this. But it's okay, as this is a movie. Now, I would call this movie a thriller drama. It is a very thrilling movie and very captivating to watch how things go down. It will keep you on the edge of the seat, and towards the end of this movie, the climax or the third act you say, it's really gripping and you will enjoy every moment of it. So all in all, I would say that this is a movie worth checking out. It's not what you are looking for from John Abraham, but this is a really good movie. It has well acted, all the supporting cast is great, the direction is well enough, and the story they are telling is important enough so that people like you and like me should actually go out and watch this movie to get to know how things were done back then, how these things work. And I'm pretty sure you'll be enjoying this movie thoroughly. So have you seen this movie, or are you planning to watch this movie this weekend? Or the next weekend maybe, but I'm sure you are excited to watch this movie. If you are, please write it down in the comment section below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it for some reason, give it a thumbs down. For more content from our channel, please hit the subscribe button down below and hit the bell icon to get notified whenever a new video drops. So till our next video, my name is Puneet. You are watching the Afterthoughts Network. Bye bye.